Hello friends, I welcome you to this new edition of Singapore India Hackathon 2019, and really I want to say congratulations to you because you've made into that online test as well as the interviews which are conducted, and you've made it through to this new edition of Singapore India Hackathon. I think you have traversed a long journey before you reached at this stage. You were the winner at Smart India Hackathon 2019 software edition, upon which I think we have talked to many of you who are in pre-final year. We have taken their consent whether they want to participate in this new initiative, and then for those who have given us the consent, we actually have made them through an online technical test. After whoever has been passed out of that test and with good marks, almost 90% and above, we have conducted the online interviews with at least 2 panel members in each of that interview, and all these technical as well as personal aspects we have verified to select those 20 teams which are going to be participating in this new edition of Singapore India Hackathon. See, this time there is a change. You might have observed it already and heard about it as well. Last year we had this Singapore India Hackathon first edition in the month of November. This is directly a PMO initiative. MIC, IICT, everyone is involved. And that edition last year was, there were 20 teams from either side, 20 teams from Singapore, 20 teams from India. They actually competed with each other, and each team was comprises of 3 students. 3 students from India, 1 team, 3 students from Singapore, 1 team. So we had almost 40 teams participated last year. This time we have made the pattern change. So we are sticking to our usual Smart India Hackathon team size of 6. The change is that 3 students from India and 3 students from Singapore, they're going to be uniting into a single team, which is going to be a cross-cultural, cross-country team who is going to be working together and competing against other 19 teams. So there are total 20 teams, each team size of 6. There will also be 2 mentors that will be associated with the team. 1 mentor will come from India side, 1 mentor will come from the Singapore side. So this team of 6 students plus 2 mentors are going to be making it mark and will be competing against the remaining teams. I need to be very clear that these 2 mentors are also going to mentor some other team as well. So they are not the exclusive mentors for you. So this team of mentors, they'll also be mentoring another additional team and not just your team. So just take that as note, because that was not the case last year. So I hope you already have got the team formation communicated to you, and you already have started interacting with the remaining 3 students from the other country. And if you have not done that, then I think it is already a high time that you should start talking to each other. While we communicate with each other, we need to understand the time zones. We need to understand the cross-cultural aspects. So both the participants from both the countries need to understand the cross-cultural aspects of each other while we communicate. Okay. Make it a good team, which is a cross-country, cross-cultural, maybe cross-skill team, and make it happen that you would win this contest, because again the prize tags are huge like last year. We're going to be sticking to the same prize amount, and it's already been communicated to you as well. I guess the winning team is going to get almost $10,000 Singaporean dollars or equivalent cash in INR. And similarly, there will be second and third teams who will be receiving a similar amount like last year. So there will be 3 prizes, winning prizes, which will be given to you. This contest, as you have now aware through the website which been communicated to you already, that mic.gov.in/SI2019. If you haven't visited the site, I think it is again high time to visit that. because most of these announcements, even the display of problem statement, everything is already been available on that site. Now looking at the next aspect, what you should be doing next, how will you prepare for the grand finale, is what we should be discussing. The first step, as I mentioned, start talking to each other, start talking to both the mentors. Whoever is available, at least start the process now, because you have very less time at hand. The problem statements are already assigned to the teams, okay, and those assignments were on the random basis, so there is no question that comes up. It's just been done at random, so you have to accept what the choice has been given to you, and you have to start working in the problem statements. Last year we did a smart campus theme for this Singapore India Hackathon. This year it's going to be different. This year we have chosen 3 themes. So there are 5 problem statements and they are divided into 3 themes. The first is about good health. There are 2 problem statements from good health. There is a second theme which is about quality education. Again, there are 2 problems coming from that. And there is a third theme which is about clean energy or quality of air. Okay. So these, and there is only 1 problem statement for the third theme. So there are 5 problem statement, 3 themes which we are going to come up with right now, and the problem statement has been already assigned to you. I hope you have started working on the problem statements. Okay, let me just go one problem at a time, and then we can discuss further on what is next, how you will attempt those problems and all that. So let's take the first problem first, which is from good health. So the first problem is all about epidemiology analysis of diseases based on the regions, based on population, and that analysis will help the policymakers to provide the right medicines at the right place in the right regions. Now how will you do that? So which means you need to have those huge databases with you, which you will analyze further to get some insights out of that data. Now who will give the databases to you? You'll have to definitely search it on the internet. There are n public data sources already available. If the data may not be in the right format as expected by you, I think, or maybe not of the right data quality, the data quality aspects have to be managed by your team. The data cleansing has to be done by your team, and then of course the data semantics, and later pass it through and build the software platform to analyze that. Now all these are the typical data processing steps which you need to follow to get to this problem. I think the second problem is about smart waste management in the good health category. The expectation is if you can design a IoT based mechanism to track tools and material that is being used in operations or otherwise, so that you can reuse what is the leftover if it is in the good health. So it's kind of a software plus hardware problem which you need to be addressing. You might require to visit hospitals at your own and find out what all you can actually do. So the scope has been kept a little open, where expectation is that you would define that scope and address the problem accordingly. Now let's move on to the next theme, which is about quality education. The first problem is about attentiveness in the trainings. Okay, so for example, if a professor is, or maybe any one of you as well, if you are conducting a training maybe online or in a closed room, so there could be 2 scenarios. One, you're conducting a training which is like a webinar or over a WebEx or a conference, online conference. A second scenario could be a closed room session where physically the students are present. You have to define either of that as your problem, or maybe you can take both of that as the scope of your problem. Assuming that the only thing which is available to you is the camera fits, so you'll have to define what could be the training room size, or if it is online trainings, you actually can use the laptop camera or alike. Based on the facial expressions, based on the facial points, maybe based on the activities the person is engaged into, you need to define whether the person is attentive and is it really listening to what a trainer is training. and accordingly you have to provide a attentiveness analysis online while the training is going on. The feedback has to reach to a trainer, so can he or she can do a course correction. That's the expectation in this problem statement. So it's more or less, I would say, more of a software problem. The hardware only required probably could be a cameras, maybe the IP enabled cameras is what you think, or maybe if you're targeting only the online trainings, maybe a laptop camera would suffice. Okay, essentially a lot of video and image analytics is what you should be able to do to identify the attentiveness. The second problem in the category of good education is sentiment analysis of students. And you might be knowing, in at least in India, immediately after the examinations or maybe just before the examinations, students are heavily stressed because of the burden to achieve good marks in examination. Now that stress causes n problems. Okay, at times we have observed the suicidal tendencies of the students as well. The problem is to define the sentiments of the students based on their social media communication, be it their Twitter feeds, be it their photographs they are putting in on Insta or on Facebook. Maybe they are liking the videos, liking the images, liking the post. Based on all that, you have to create a profile of a student and comment something about their sentiment analysis. So it's again a big data analytics kind of a problem, which requires a lot of machine learning, AI kind of technologies, because you need to really tag a particular picture which has been liked or posted by a student, whether it is actually showing a suicidal tendencies or stress for that particular student who is posting that. So this is a very interesting problem, very difficult to achieve in the sense, if you are well versed with AI, image analytics, video analytics and data analytics, I think this is the problem statement you will be able to achieve, and this is something good to attempt. This is a real problem which is we need a solution for. Now let's take the fifth problem, which is from a different category, a different theme, I would say. It is about clean energy. Now there are a lot of efforts been already done in the market to analyze the carbon contents and many harmful particles in the air, which is talking about the pollution outside when you are actually visiting any of the city, any of the area in the country or maybe in the city, and that's all been done. You might have even seen the pollution boards been actually, when you actually standing at the traffic signals, you might have seen those pollution measurements been displayed. Now nothing is majorly available for the in-house measurement of a pollution. So this problem statement is, with the help of few sensors and some analysis softwares, if you can achieve the pollution measurement inside a room which is a closed premise, and if you can display in a nice dashboard to a user to understand how polluted that room is, then that is what something which we want you to achieve. Now said that, all these 5 problem statements are very interesting. They actually follow different themes and they are already been assigned to the teams, so you have no choice but to attempt the problem which has been assigned to you at random basis, as I mentioned to you already. So the next step, of course, there will be some educations, online education or online trainings been conveyed to you. So you'll be actually visiting Swayam portal. There are n videos, trainings been suggested. There are more communications will be posted on mic.go.in, or through your email you will receive those notifications. There are few more trainings are in the pipeline about business plan, how to actually communicate based on the cross-cultural aspects of the communication and countries. All that will be imparted as different online trainings to you, but of course that doesn't stop you from starting a communication. So I think the expectation, you start talking to each other, both the teams, I mean the teams coming from the Singapore and teams coming from India, and you also should start having a conversation with your mentor, because ultimately I hope your aim is to win. This is a very prestigious contests, as you might have already known, because you already are the winner at the country level Smart India Hackathon, and now you are actually competing for the cross country kind of hackathon. So this is the second edition, and the huge money is actually been given to the winner. It's almost 10,000 Singaporean dollar equivalent of cash in INR. Otherwise, I think you should attempt all these problem statement. But what is required ultimately to attempt this problem statement is to have a good team, and only when you start communicating with the other team and see to that you use the right assets of each one of you to achieve this problem statement solution, I think that's what has been needed. So take help from your mentor, start as much as possible on your own. As I said, visit hospital, visit school, colleges, define your scope, because that is the key to success. So I think all of you, I should wish from the team of Singapore India Hackathon all the best, and I know you all will do much better than Smart India Hackathon already. So thanks a lot.